Hello, Instagram family. I hope you're doing really, really well. I am just going to drop in here because I've got some things to say and lots of just things showing up for me that I wanted to communicate. So, something I've been thinking about a lot is if this whole pandemic and global cultural pause had happened a few years ago, I would be completely a wreck. And a few years ago, I had left a job in high fashion that was paying me a lot of money. I was right out of college and I just decided to go. I felt the need to discover myself. I wasn't happy. I was in depression. I had all these creative ambitions and passions, and I just didn't know where to begin. And I was unemployed for 6 months. And in those 6 months, anytime I tried to get a job, it just wouldn't work out. And I was forced to sort of go inwards because I had nowhere to go during the day. I didn't have a job. So I was looking for jobs, but I was also digging deeper and having to actually work on myself and reflect on what I want in my life. So I was very lost, and I'm bringing this up because if this pandemic had happened then and forced me to sit with myself, I would feel even more lost. I would feel really down and probably quite anxious. So I wanted to just pop in and offer support for those of you who are maybe in that space. Right now I have a focus and I have my business and I know what I love to do, and I'm figuring out ways to combine my passions, and it's taken many years. So I wanted to just offer this as a message of compassion for those of you who are finding yourselves in darker spaces and places these days, who feel confused or lack that focus and don't know what to do with your life, and or you've lost your job and that's out of your control and the future feels really uncertain, and perhaps you've never actually taken the time to journey inward. And so something like this space and time, especially since it's unexpected, may be quite daunting for you. So I want to just communicate that I feel you. I'm here. I'm with you. And though your journey is unique to you and I can't possibly understand what it's like to be in your shoes, I am with you. And I wanted to offer some little bits of guidance during this time. And this is based on some things I've learned since traveling, since digging inward and looking into my internal spaces. So, if you, first of all, I'll start with this. I came across a lot of people while I was traveling that are really, really unique individuals. Many of them have their own businesses or are full-time travelers and just pick up jobs when they can. And this is the thing to note, is that in the West, in our Western culture in the United States, we largely base our identities on our careers. And our careers are in these little boxes and we feel like we need to fit into them. So what happens if we don't feel like we fit in and we don't know what we're going to do? So some of the most incredible human beings that I met and came across over the last couple months have figured out a way to actually pursue all of the things that they're passionate about. For instance, I know somebody who is a spoken word poet, a hypnotherapist, and a DJ, and he's figured out a way to bring sound healing and hypnotherapy into one unit, as well as do his spoken word poetry in that music and combine those things that way. And his name is Niall. I'll link him down below. But he's a really inspiring human, and there's a lot of people that showed me that there are so many possibilities to life and pursuing our passions, and we can truly do it all. You know, I always thought that I had to choose between, well, do I want to be a writer? Do I want to just do marketing? Do I want to work in fashion? Do I want to be a meditation teacher? What do I want to do? I had all these things, and I really, a lot of these passions have come through since childhood. So that's another thing I'll get to in a second. But basically, I pursuing all of them now because I'm seeing how I can offer them in different ways. So for instance, fashion industry. Since I was a little girl, I was really interested in playing dress up. I really loved getting dressed up, playing, dancing, putting on performances, all of these things. And now I'm seeing that, I can actually speak to self-expression and how we show up in the world and what that communicates when we're wearing all of these things, and can speak to what I believe is the importance of authentic self-expression and conscious self-expression, which is things I bring into my classes and incorporate all kinds of creativity and things like that. So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is there are so many possibilities in the world, and just because you don't fit into a box doesn't mean that what you have to offer isn't valuable, and doesn't mean that you need to identify based on the career you're in. So this time is excellent for asking those deeper questions of, okay, what did I like to do as a child? What brings me happiness and joy and all of these other things? What have other people told me that I'm just really, really good at? And what cool little secret talents do I have that I maybe haven't even thought about, but that I can express to the world and that I can show up for? And so these are ways that we can ask the questions, even if we don't know the answers. And slowly over time, what we see is when we plant these intentions, that we start receiving the answers. We start receiving them in signs. We start getting a phone call from someone we haven't talked to in years that is saying, you were always so good at this. And then we remember, right, I have that cool talent I didn't remember that I had. And our art forms and the ways that we show up and our purposes in this world don't necessarily have to be the classic artistic things. If we identify ourselves as creators, which we all are because we create this world together, as we're seeing these structures fall down so easily, we're seeing that we just made it all up. And so we can use these things as tools to communicate what we want. And what I was trying to say before, I'm getting a little bit off track, is that it doesn't necessarily mean that we're an excellent painter or the best writer in the world, but what else are we really good at? Are we great at bringing people together? Are we great at connecting with other people? Are we great at leading projects? Are we really good with structure? Or do we love analyzing things? There can be more than just the classic, what we think of as art and creation, as creative energy, because we're always creating. And similarly, something to give you some solace is what I have been thinking a lot about is when we're creating and we're bringing something into the world, yes, we do have these talents and these gifts and these passions for a reason, but it's not just us creating that art. It's not just me giving a guided meditation. It is that I don't actually own that. That is a part of the universal collective consciousness, the world working through me, speaking through me. And it's the same thing with anybody else who's exercising those passions and those gifts. And so I just wanted to offer these tools and give you hopefully a little bit of solace for these times and these spaces for pause if you're freaking out. Perfectly normal. This is a time in the world when everything is quite uncertain, and going internally might not be the most comfortable place for you. So I just wanted to offer that, and also offer that something you can do every day is create an intentional word for the day. Perhaps you need clarity, perhaps you want comfort, perhaps you want more joy. Whatever it is, choosing a word every single day that you want to embody can help you with that focus. And knowing when it's time to take a break from that internal world, or to take a break from your phone and just listening to your body, and when it tells you that it's time to really just stop and drop everything and pick it up another day. So yeah, just wanted to offer that and give you a little bit of a taste of what I've been working with. I love you all so much. Classes on Saturdays, Mondays, and Thursdays at 8 p.m. You can reach out to me for more information. I'll have everything in the link. Love you. Have a beautiful day, guys.